just nice to see that, like, hey, science backs this up, and hey, a clinical trial also proves it, and feels nice to then like have that confirmed by your own usage. Okay. All right. So here we are. So Dr. Hill talks a lot about stress. Okay. We have lots of different concerns when it comes to mental wellness. Okay. Notice he's not saying mental illness, but he is saying mental wellness. And it's really important that we keep in mind that there are several things that contribute, okay? This could be neurological, it could be chemical, it could be behaviors, it could be thought patterns, this could be emotions. We all experience these different things, but it's how we deal with them that becomes the challenge, okay? So they really stress that this image right here, we all have constants, and then there are the variables, okay? Of course, there are the chemical changes. Of course, there are the autonomic responses, the physiological changes. These are all things that happen within our bodies, within our environments, right? But then the variables, okay? The cause behind the stressor in your life, the duration of said event, the intensity of it, how you perceive the intensity of it. All of these play into our stress response, how our body is going to respond, how long we are going to have this response, right? So it comes down to two different things. We have episodic, yes. We have episodic things that take place, right? There's a trigger. You have a rough day. Your kid yells at you. I don't know, maybe. If you're like our 14-year-old, you have a rough baseball game, right? These things happen.
See somebody from the past.
Oh, that's no fun. One time, guys. I can't believe I'm about to say this.
About.
What? You know what story I'm going to tell?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, at Christmas?
At church?
Yeah. Okay. So we went to church with Michael's family on Christmas Eve one year, and across the room, I spot my, sorry,
I did.
He spotted.
And I said, don't
turn around. It was my very first OBGYN, who definitely caused me some trauma, okay? Let's just say that. Let's just say I had some urges to like attack the poor man on Christmas Eve. I say poor man because I'm being nice. Like I really would have. Okay, we're not going to go any deeper. All we need to know is there was a trigger. Okay, there was a trigger. There was a chemical response. There were physiological changes to me. I was getting like sweaty and anxious and panicky. I wanted to like crawl out of my skin. Okay, but then our bodies, when it's episodic, our bodies go back to balance. Okay, it's important that it leads to the constant and the variable that we talked about, right? But the key here is it returns to normal. Whereas when we're dealing with a physiologic imbalance, there's a chemical response, physiological changes, maybe a short balance, but it's short term, and then it goes back and it sometimes loops around, right? So I'm pretty excited. There are likely millions of different chemical reactions occurring in our brains at any different time. This is all people, okay? So for those of us who maybe have some struggles mentally, emotionally, neurologically, there's a lot going on here. Like just as the foundation, everybody's got just lots going on. And so even if I go back, you can see this is, you know, episodic stuff happens, but also what do we do when there's physiological imbalance? What do we do? How do we handle this? So there are a few different important cofactors when we're talking about neurotransmitters, okay? Serotonin. If you have a lack of serotonin, this is what's gonna lead to those intense feelings of sadness, okay? We are in a closed group here, so I don't have to be super compliant, but you guys know what that is. Those intense feelings of sadness you get. You can't pull yourself out, right? I think we all have this experience at one point or another in our lives. I think moms, we have a lot of this that is hormone at the foundation. It's hormonal, right? especially if you just had a baby. Okay, right? Think about those times in your life, ladies, right? You have these intense feelings of sadness. You have a deficiency in serotonin. The other thing that is often lacking, or that we need, I should say, is GABA. Okay, GABA is actually really cool. Our bodies need GABA to subdue the neurological system, okay, to subdue that and help us feel less anxious. GABA is really important for helping to relax those anxious feelings. Another important cofactor are what's called alkaloids. So alkaloids actually support the body's ability to sustain both serotonin and GABA. So to balance out serotonin and GABA, our body requires alkaloids. Fascinating information. Another important piece is those omega-3s and 6s. We get these in our lifelong vitality, but sometimes if you are deficient enough, you need extra. I have found, and we've talked about this when we've talked about ADHD, when we've talked about autism, when we've talked about all of these things. Sometimes our bodies are so deficient that even the perfectly pieced together lifelong vitality, we need a little extra, okay? These omega fatty acids are critical to support brain function and structure, okay? Super important. Okay, so enter the Adaptiv line. You guys, they see there was a lack, right? doTERRA can see that there was something we didn't have, that we weren't addressing mental wellness. So they gave us this. Here's what's in it. Number one ingredient. And first of all, we're talking about the supplement first, okay? Number one ingredient, GABA. Not kidding, okay? The main, this is an herbal form, right? We're getting this in a really bioavailable form, which is awesome. This is going to help when we're feeling anxious or stressed. It's going to help regulate, right? We just talked about this. This reduces those anxious, stress feelings. Next thing that's in Adaptiv supplement, I'm not going to say this right. I don't know. That's what it is, the S word root. Sound good? Can you say that?
Scledium?
I think he said it's scledium. Scledium root. That's what we're going to call it, scledium root. I hate all these sciencey words because there's probably somebody watching who's like, actually, Courtney. Or maybe not. You might not be. You're probably like, I can't pronounce it either. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. So this specific ingredient consists of, wait for it, 4 main alkaloids, what we need, right, to balance the serotonin and the GABA for neurotransmitter support. Interesting. We now have GABA. We now have scledium roots with the alkaloids. Oh, it's loading. I don't know what's happening. There's that one. It's skipping one. Okay, let me just tell you what it is. It's ahi flower. That's what the other one says. Ahi flower. Ahi. Aha. Ahi. You know, you get it. It's a plant-based source of it's super rich in omegas. Okay, so this covers the omegas. It covers 3 now of the 4 things we needed. Throw in, did I skip one? No, we got it. Okay, throw in now our essential oils. Guys, it doesn't get better than this. So lavender, coriander, and fennel. All 3 are really high in linalool as the actual constituent in the essential oils. Linalool, check this out. There's a great amount of research, Dr. Hill says, revealing its ability to reduce sadness, stress, and anxiousness, just in the essential oils. So now we're combining those essential oils with the other ingredients, with the GABA, with the scallidium root, with the ahi flower, right? We're combining them to get exactly what we need to benefit the serotonin and the GABA, right? To balance those out, to give us those omegas, to give our bodies exactly what they're needing. This is amazing, okay? So all those oils have high concentrations of linalool. And then they said they threw in wild orange just because it's a happy oil, basically, which I really love. That he was like, and we just threw in wild orange for good measure because everybody could use that. It was amazing. All right. So now what I want to show you, this is a really cool quote that he shared. Okay. We're going to talk about now transitioning from the supplement to the essential oil that they gave us in this, we have all three of these in this line now. So it says, smell is a potent wizard that transports you across thousands of miles and all the years you have lived. Odors, instantaneous and fleeting, cause my heart to dilate joyously or contract with remembered grief. We all have smells that we smell that trigger things in our brain, okay? Just like some of us, when we smell certain essential oils, it takes us back to another time. It takes us back to an experience we've had. I can smell frankincense and it smells like newborn Eleanor. Kid you not, that's what it smells like to me because she got her little head rubbed in frankincense a lot. I can smell geranium, and while I don't love the smell, you know where it takes me instantly? My grandma's bathroom. She must have had a perfume or a lotion or something that had geranium in it. I am instantly, like, my brain is suddenly transported into that mauve colored bathroom in Pittsburgh, Kansas. It's the craziest thing. Scent is really powerful. It's like the scent of cookies reminds you of something. You know what I mean? Like, it happens. So what we're doing is we're utilizing that same system within the Adaptiv line, okay? So the limbic system, we know that this is what controls smell, and it's why it's so powerful when we inhale things. It's like right here in the front of our brain, and when you smell an essential oil, it goes straight there and starts getting to work. All those things are being sent out. So the cool thing about the Adaptiv line is the supplement is, the word I'm looking for, it triggers, there we go, is triggered by the amygdala, okay? Those two are working together, whereas the oils are working with the hypothalamus, okay? And it's really important to keep in mind that these are made to work together. The supplement and the oils made to work together. I don't know what that said, I'll come back to it. They're made to support each other. So the way it was explained to us is that the supplement is more of a long-term support taken every day. And we're going to see when I show you the clinical trial in a second, it actually has sustained benefits. So the longer you take it, not only does it work right away, but it also has, it builds the longer you take it, which is super cool. Whereas our oil, smelling it in the diffuser, rolling that touch roller on, is then going to affect you in the moment. It's a short-term effect, okay? So they're doing some really cool research at the Salt Lake Behavioral Center that they do not have, we didn't have access to that information yet because they're in the middle of like legit clinical trials, guys. And then also they're working with first responders in the Salt Lake City area as well to help with their stress response. Think about that. Guys, that's huge. Okay, so ta-da, now we have our oils. We have the supplement, long-term. We have the oils, short-term, in the moment, okay? These are the oils that are in it. It smells delicious, especially if you need it, okay? I can't tell you the number of times I've had an emotional experience with an essential oil. Okay, I definitely have one in Utah with black spruce, which we'll talk about next Wednesday. But one of our kids had a pretty emotional response to the Adaptiv. Like, he smelled it and his little eyes swelled up with tears. He was like, I need that one. Like, it was just which of course then my eyes well up with tears and we just can't handle it. So again, systemic pathway versus the limbic system is going to give us what we need right away. Okay, here's where we get to talk about the clinical trials. So because we know all of these things, because we know the science behind what the actual botanicals and essential oils in these can do, okay, doTERRA set up a clinical trial. Okay, so the very first thing they did is they had people come in and they basically were going to all the way down to 12 years old. This is one of the largest spans of people they've ever had in it, like all ages, and one of the youngest groups of people they've ever worked with as well. I found it really awesome because I have kids who really need this, right? We all do. And Nicole Stevens is one of our scientists, and she actually said, our kids today are experiencing more stress than any generation before them. So of course we were going to include kids in this study. It's necessary, it's needed. They have mental health needs as well. So they brought them in. The plan was we're going to stress people out and see how they respond, okay? So in basically, overall, they did a randomized, single-blind, placebo-controlled crossover clinical study. Okay, for all of you science nerds that are like, what kind of study was this? Now you have your answer. Check. So they basically gave them math and English exams. They word problems specifically. That makes me already like my heart kind of start pounding. They wore temperature strips to measure their autonomic response. They wore pulse oximeters to measure their autonomic response. I'm going to get through this, I promise. And then it was timed. So not only were there like scientists walking around in lab coats checking on them with clipboards and all of that, but then they had a big like time clock, like a running time clock timing them down. That sounds terrible. That's worse than the ACT. Okay, so here's what happened. Afterwards, then they asked them all these questions, all right? Now, what they didn't know is while they were in there, right, they think they're just like doing this exam to qualify them for the real test. They don't realize that the actual exam is the first part of the trial, okay? So they found there was a higher percentage of correct answers with Adaptiv. Okay, this is the essential oil.
Diffusing.
Yes, diffusing. The heart rate was lower with Adaptiv. And then there was significantly less stress reported with Adaptiv. Now, see the purple section right there? There was a subset of participants that were also not only using the oil that they didn't know about, but they were also taking the internal supplements, okay? Those people had all three categories better. So not only did they have a higher percentage of answers correct, but they also had a lowered heart rate and significantly less stress was reported at the end. Okay, so then after they did that, they actually did the test that the people thought they were doing. Okay, and in this one, they basically had them smell it and report how they felt. Okay, what they found was, again, exactly what we can see on here. First of all, the aroma, what did she call it? Aroma memory was powerful with this specific oil because it works so strongly with the limbic system of the brain. They could pick it out, even though there were multiple diffusers around. Some of them were just water placebo, some of them were with the Adaptiv. But what they noticed was that the people could be like, was this the one that was in the air during the test? Like they would pick it out, which is really, really cool. Oh, here we go. Sorry. These were what they reported at the end. These are all the words. They asked them at the bottom of the test, can you give us a word to describe your experience with this oil? The larger the words on the screen here are the more times people wrote down that word. Calm, happy, relaxed, positive, energized, peaceful. I love some of these words on here, and I can tell you, I personally haven't had this exact experience. The only one, oh, there's focus. Focus is like, I have felt so much more focused. I feel completely free of the stuff I've been hanging on to. And now I'm also using it with black spruce, which is kind of be probably part of that. Talk about it next week, settle down. Okay, so briefly, I want to show you this, okay? So they did another study. Actually, sorry, this is from Roseman University, was testing it. And you'll see basically what you need to see on here. I think you can see my arrow. Here's the Adaptiv supplement, here's the oil, and then they tested the individual pieces in it. And then they also, these are just two, these are basically controls. So no, there's not nicotine in it, okay? Okay, so the red, okay, is it turned up or activated things. The blue is where it turned down or reduced or had less activity, okay? So you can see that even the oil and the soft gel or not soft gel, but the capsule, the supplement, they're doing different things and they're supporting each other.
This is where you started. Everything started at once.
Yeah, everything started at once. So you can see what was turned down, what was decreased, and you can see what was increased, okay? Cell proliferation was increased with the oil. Synaptic plasticity, hello, I'll take some of that. But look at all the things that were turned down, right? It's a really powerful piece to look at this. So basically, we're showing that the supplement itself reduces activity of 8 out of 11 signaling pathways, okay? Calming the stress response, settling the anxiousness. And individual components exhibited both synergistic and antagonistic effects. Great, awesome. What does that tell us? It tells us that Adaptiv is promoting a resting state of neuronal cells. A resting state of our cells in our brains, guys. How cool is that? Okay, I loved this that she showed us. So this is basically before Adaptiv on the left, after Adaptiv on the right. And what you could see is our actual brain cells after Adaptiv had more of what's called F-actin, okay? F-actin plays important roles in neuron cell function, integrity, and stabilization, okay? F-actin promotes dynamic plasticity of neurons. Do you know what that means? It causes our actual brain cells to adapt easier to life stress. To adapt easier. They didn't get the name from nowhere, did they? Okay, they did another study. This one was randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled. You had to get a score of 5 or more on this test that they did, basically proving that you have high amounts of stress in your life or moderate amounts, okay? Here's the survey. Here's what people said. Can you see that? I still felt mentally sharp. I felt increasing sense of calm as the trial went on. I was less explosive with my kids. I'll take that. I will take that. We had a lot of unusual stressors during the study, but I felt equipped to handle them. This is what we want, guys. We want to be equipped to handle life situations, especially when we're talking about someone who maybe already has, you know, a lot of checks against them, so to speak, neurologically. If you already struggle with anxiousness and adapting to stress that comes your way, you need help. And think about when you're talking about, exactly, Lindsay, who wouldn't benefit from this? Exactly my point.
Like yesterday,
Yeah.
you walked in the door
Yes.
after picking up kids and said, watch out, they're all in a mood. They're like one of those days where they all got
They
in the
were
car
all
and they're
crabby
all
and fighting and had 1,000 complaints before we lived 5 minutes from the
So
school.
I grabbed the roller the Adaptiv roller,
Mm-hmm.
and I just started getting them all over.
We put it in the diffuser.
Yeah, wrist, nuts, everything.
Yeah.
We got it diffusing. In about 5 minutes, everyone was chilling out.
Chilling out. Today I started the
Plus,
diffuser at lunchtime.
I think that was
instead.
the other big thing.
Yes. Yes.
I was chilled out.
Yeah. Because so many times we just join in the chaos with our kids, don't we? So many times. They're coming home and they're crabby and they need a snack and somebody, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And somebody touched them and I don't even care.
It helped me make a game out of snack time, and they loved it. And
Right. But if
fun.
dad was responding or mom is responding to the chaos with more chaos, it's just a cycle that never ends. But now helps us to adapt, quickly bounce back, right? Okay. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything, guys. Okay, so this is cool. This is what I like, okay? So everyone who took the Adaptiv supplement had better survey scores at the end. Awesome. We also saw, though, if you can see on here, I'm going to go to this next one. So what you're going to see is that first red circle there shows us the initial effects of Adaptiv supplement, okay? Right away within, oh, what did she say? Hold on. This is in a few days to a week, okay? Taking it every day from a few days to a week, this is what they notice. But then that second circle, okay, and the orange one, see that it's lower, that's the people on Adaptiv, and the blue is the placebo, okay? Look at the significance right there at the second circle. This proved that results continue to build beyond a week. So those who are consistently taking every single day, yes, you're going to get an initial response, but it continues to build in your system as well. This is cool. This is literally your brain beginning to adapt, guys. This is powerful. Okay, Michael's looking at comments. Well, I'm going to keep going. So this is one person, and here's what she said. So they had out of 24 answers on this clinical trial, or out of 24 points was the highest you could have. Like, that's like a super stressed person, okay? When she came in, she was the highest one, marked at 20 out of 24 on the stress test, basically. She ended with a 3 out of 24. That's a lot. When like the average normal daily stress level, the moderate place, was at about 12. It was about halfway point. She was at 20 and dropped down to 3. And she said, I go through my days now feeling happy and feeling hopeful. Isn't that what like everybody just needs? Is just feeling happy and hopeful that everything's going to be fine, even though it's stressful, even though it's crazy, even though everything has hit the fan. Okay. This quote is awesome. It says, stress is the trash of modern life. We all generate it, but if you don't dispose of it properly, it will overtake your life. So here's what Dr. Hill gave us. He gave us a really powerful daily routine to add in the Adaptiv with, okay? Obviously, do you know us? Come on. LLV, lifelong vitality. This is the foundation. This is what begins to kick out the toxins in your body, so you're reducing your stress response cellularly, right? This is what starts with. So we have to start with the lifelong vitality. We have to clear out those toxins. We have to help ourselves be as healthy as possible. Second thing, every morning or every afternoon, based on your preference, you're taking one Adaptiv. Okay, that is the recommended dosage is, I want to read it, 1 capsule, okay? And it says as needed, no. 1 capsule at a time, okay? But if, let's say, you need it in the afternoon, okay, that we're good. We're good.
I would expect it as it helps heal your
yeah,
function.
You won't need it as much. Yeah. So his recommendation was an Adaptiv every morning. I've seen some people who are like, you know what? I don't need it in the morning. I need it in the afternoon. And that's fine. The longer we take it, obviously now we know it builds in our bodies as well. And then 1000% serenity before bed, guys. Stress is compounded by lack of sleep. Our stress response is worse, and those who are not having a healthy stress response, those who are not mentally well, then also struggle with sleep because your brain never shuts off. The Serenity is not a sleeping pill. The Serenity complex is there for you to get good rest, right? It's not, oh, this is going to knock me out. No, this is putting your body into homeostasis, right? That balanced, healthy line where you are functioning optimally. Optimal functioning is getting good rest at night. Okay? Okay. Our mental health, movement is so important to it. Okay? When we're talking mental wellness, daily activity is critical. So, of course, we're going to use the Deep Blue products. Okay? Of course. Okay, I'd also highly recommend an aroma touch massage once every couple of weeks. That's pretty powerful as well, to help your body with recovery and such after physical activity. But yeah, you got to move. You got to move. Energy. We're not talking caffeine. We're not talking stimulants, okay? We're talking actual cellular energy inside of your body. That's where it comes from, right? It's not coming from, oh, I'm just gonna like shoot all this caffeine into me so that I can function. This will sustain emotional and physical energy throughout the day when we do it the right way. Mito-2-max, wild orange and peppermint, motivate. These are all powerful in helping us to get moving and our bodies to literally be active from the inside out.
So I want to address a couple of comments real quick. So Tammy, we make these available in the files.
I am recording this. Everything is compliant, so I can post this in the files. I can also give you, so far I haven't said anything crazy uncompliant, so I feel good sharing the video as well. So as soon as it's recorded, I will post this link.
And Rachel, so here's the thing with the capsules.
Oh yeah, they're different.
They're not the same as the oil blend. And
nope.
So this is one where I wouldn't suggest trying to like figure out how to do it on your own.
This is not internal. This is not an internal oil.
Yeah.
These are separate things. So it's not a soft gel, it's a capsule. This has botanical herbs plus some essential oils. This is all essential oils. And they're different oils.
You're about to get to the pricing. It's not crazy expensive.
No, I don't actually think the pricing is listed on here. We'll see in a second. Okay, so you're adding these to the supplement, if that makes sense. Okay, well, these are the same.
To your routine, but
not internally. You are not taking these internally. These oils are the same thing. One's just a touch roller for easy application. This is separate. Okay. What was I going to say? Oh, let me just read you the oils that are in here. Okay. Wild orange, lavender, copaiba, spearmint, magnolia, rosemary, neroli, and sweet gum resins. Okay. Different than this that only has, oh my gosh, lavender, coriander, fennel, wild orange, the ahi flower, the gamma, the scolidium. Okay. So totally different concepts, but they're made to complement one another. So in my professional opinion, you need all three. Okay, here's how we're using them, and I'll talk to you about this now. We're taking the Adaptiv supplement every morning with our lifelong vitality. Okay, for me, that's usually mid-morning. I do like a brunch, early lunch situation. That's when I take all my supplements, right? Our boys are taking this before when the day starts. That's probably when you're taking yours as well. He does his morning supplements. I do like an afternoon and late afternoon situation.
I haven't been taking that.
You haven't taken it every day?
No, because I don't want to run out before October.
We have a whole other bottle.
I know.
It's fine. He needs to take it. Trust me. Okay.
I will say
we've been diffusing that and rolling this on.
And I've been having like the most vivid dreams in my deep REM cycle, where I normally don't remember anything that I dream about. And I've been remembering everything lately, and they haven't been unpleasant either.
No.
Like they'll anything scary. It's all been like nice dreams.
Yeah. I will also say though, I am normally a dreamer, and they wake me up and I'm like active all night long. My brain never rests. So guess what's been happening to me? Nothing. No dreams. I'm waking up and I'm like, what happened? Didn't I just fall asleep? And it's been 8 hours. I kid you not, guys. This is not normal for me. Normally I don't get good rest, but my body needed the stress reduction apparently. Okay, so you get the oil to diffuse, you get this. So here's where you can put it: web of the hands, base of the neck. When you look at the back of your, or feel the back of your neck, you can feel like those muscles, and then your skull goes kind of like in a little triangle, okay? Your little occipital triangle back there, right in that little hole, in the little crook of your neck, okay? Shoulders or base of the skull is a great place as well, okay?
And we always love the spine.
Yes, always, always. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing. Oh no, that's not what I meant to do. Okay, I wanna go back through. Did we catch all? Yes, Rachel, copaiba is in the oil, not in the supplement. Tammy, I will post the link to the video and post the link to the, well, it'll have the slides on it, so I'll just post the link to the video. Okay, I hope that this was helpful for you guys. I know it was helpful for me to see the research, and I've watched the videos over and over. I've watched them each. I watched them each twice today, plus I was there in person. So feel free to come back in here, rewatch, reaffirm those gut feelings that you're having right now, like, oh my gosh, I need this so bad. Reaffirm that. Come back and watch this and remind yourself why you said that. Remind yourself why you're like, wow, I need this like yesterday. Because the reality is most of us do. Life is not easy. Life is not stressful. I will be the first person to agree with you on that. Okay, so I want to honor you guys who were here live. So I am going to, gosh, how am I going to do this?
If you
they all commented.
Well, if you're still with us,
we got
comment.
They're mostly still here.
If you're still with us, comment still here so that we can.
I want to see who stayed through to the end.
Also, I want to just point out, I know like sometimes we could be skeptical of certain things. Mm-hmm. Like, are we getting sold here? Are we getting played? When we're talking about the need for lifelong vitality with this, as lifelong vitality is the foundation of helping our bodies to be whole and well and getting all the nutrients it needs. doTERRA doesn't make money on lifelong vitality.
Yeah.
They price it so that
it's affordable.
Break even. And they did that because Rob Young, who came from a nutrition background, he said, I'll come and I'll start this company with you, but we're going to make a supplement and we're going to make it affordable. And so basically they break even on lifelong vitality. So they're pushing a product that they don't make money on. That's one of their like number one selling products. It's not an oil. So just know that they're not trying to sell you or trick you. They really, 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 really just want people to be as whole and healthy as possible.
Okay, I'm gonna pull up my random name picker. It's literally called that, random number picker. It's so weird.
I don't think they phrased it as picker when they
it's so aggressive. Hold on. All right, let me double check. We haven't got any extras in the last like 2 seconds. All right. Randomize. No, not number 0. That's not helpful. You go back and count. Number 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Regina Koshal. Bam. All right, so I've got a whole bag of doTERRA swag. I'm gonna send you something from it. Yay! You get something from the swag store. I didn't bring it out. I've got a whole bunch of stuff. I bought things for you all. Be excited. But I'm going to send Regina something for hanging on to the end. You guys, let us know if you have any other questions. Tag your friends that are in the group. I will share this video. I might actually just share it publicly on our Facebook page, and then you can just share that out. I think that'll probably be the easiest way to do it. It's been lovely. And guys, I just did that in 45 minutes. I'd just like to say that was a lot of information to drop in 45 minutes. So remember, you can come back to this if you're like, I can't retain anything past 9 o'clock, Courtney. That's fine. This is here forever. Forever. All right. Have an awesome Wednesday. Tomorrow. Do you know what's coming tomorrow? No. Amanda Whitman is doing her live tomorrow, and she gets to talk to you. Oh, what did I just do? She gets to talk to you about digestive stuff. Okay, so let me just read to you what she's talking about. Hang tight. I want to tell you. Where is it? Because I kind of half forgot for a second. Okay. She's talking about the enteric-coated peppermint soft gels, celery seed. I would get excited about that. It stinks. I am 0% going to lie to you on that. It smells like a really strong celery soup, including like all the leaves and things and dirt maybe. I don't know. It's really strong, but it's amazing and powerful, and you're going to need it, so you should just get it. But then also the kids tamer. So Amanda's going to talk to you about all things digestion and poop related. So it sounds like a good time that she's going to get to have tomorrow.
Professional.
She offered, so I let her talk about the poop stuff. All right, guys. Have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow and then next week and the next Thursday to wrap up all our new products.